Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new. In today's video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on these two hair oils. My hair is currently up in a bun, but I'm going to be taking it out, demoing the products, telling you the main differences and ultimately which one I would recommend you purchase over the other. They are very different in so many ways but also very alike, so hopefully this helps you decide which one is best for you. If this sounds like your kind of video, I would absolutely love it if you could smash that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really does help support me and it means I can keep making videos much like this, testing out hair care products and letting you know my favourites and which ones I ultimately would recommend. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So before I talk about the differences between the products and where one may step in front of the other, I wanted to just chat to you about what the products claim to do first, because that always gives a great insight into what you might be buying. So this is the Kerastaste Elixir Ultimate, and it comes in this gold bottle and you get quite a lot of product in here. This is a glass bottle as well, so it's kind of very luxurious. This and the OLAPLEX one are definitely very much on the high-end side of things, but this is what this one's called. And when I was looking for hair oils, I wanted to try the two best ones on the market and then give you guys a review in terms of which one is best. This ultimately says it's versatile beautifying oil for dull hair seeking shine, infused with an exceptional blend of amla extract, carmelian, argan and corn germ oils. Together with the sacred Maluna oil, hair is beautifully nourished with high heat protection and long-lasted frizz control. Endos hair with an alluring fragrant halo and shine. Apply 1 to 2 pumps on wet or dry hair and leave it in. So that is the Kerastaste one. And then next up is the OLAPLEX. This is the number 7 and I have been using this for a few months, but you definitely can't tell by looking at it. This one just says you apply small amounts to damp or dry hair and style as desired. And then this claims to reduce frizz and flyaways, extends colour and renews vibrancy, heat protection up to 450 Fahrenheit, shortens drying time, softens and detangles, UV protection, no residue, colour safe, vegan, alcohol free. So that is this one. They very much differ on the size, but ultimately it's how the product performs, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. So first of all, let's talk price, because I think that is something that a lot of people going into this, especially if you're doing research, you're very aware of the price point of these products and you're probably trying to figure out which one is best to buy because they are quite expensive. So these are both definitely on the high-end spectrum of things and they claim to be the best from each hair care range. So OLAPLEX number 7 works in line with the whole family of OLAPLEX, and obviously OLAPLEX is a very highly regarded hair product range, and then Kerastaste, again, very much well known in terms of providing amazing hair care. So I actually got both of these from Look Fantastic. The Kerastaste one I actually managed to get at 40% off, which is pretty much unheard of in terms of Kerastaste. This was through Look Fantastic and they did an email discount that only lasted like 2 hours and I had to act quickly, so I did actually get this for a really good price, but it's still a lot for hair oil. And then the OLAPLEX number 7 I actually got during Black Friday and I spoke about that in that haul, but ultimately I got this and the number 6 for £35. So again, a lot of money if you're spending it on hair care, especially if you've never spent that kind of money on hair care before, but it still worked out a lot cheaper than what it should have been. So both of these were from Look Fantastic at that more discounted price. I will have them both linked in the description below, and so you can check out more information. I'll try and find them where they're the cheapest as well. So the reason why I decided to buy these in terms of as a consumer, not just as a YouTuber and sharing them with you, is that hair oil has definitely become an essential in terms of my hair care routine. I find that drugstore ones that I've either used in the past or have tried out recently just don't perform in the way I want them to. They almost sit on my hair, they don't dissolve as quickly, and I don't feel like they do as much. So that's why I entered the high-end oil kind of market and I was trying to find the best version for me. So of course during this journey I wanted to share my findings with you. However, if there are any affordable ones that you've tried and you loved, please do let me know, because I would obviously love to try them and find a cheaper alternative. But starting off with this, I can very easily compare lower end ones to higher end ones very quickly. So ultimately during this I wanted to work out which one is my favourite and which I will go on to repurchase once they're both both done. But of course with hair oils, this is going to take me a very, very long time. So what I like about both of these is that they have hair protection qualities in them, which is something I definitely look for in terms of my hair care. It's something I'm always making sure I protect myself from. I don't use heat very often, but when I do, I want to know that my hair is adequately protected, and so not only do I use an oil with a heat protection quality, but I also use a heat protection spray. 100% something that you want to do if you're looking to grow your hair. So I've just taken my hair out of that bun and I'm going to sort it out whilst actually using the oils and showing you them in a little bit more detail. So first of all, let's start with the Kerastaste one. This here, if I can show you, that's all I'm going to need, especially for one side of my hair, is it pumps out, and the consistency of this, it's like a slightly thicker serum, so it's more kind of serum based than just an oil. And I definitely compare this to things that I have in my skincare cupboard that are definitely more serumy, and it has that slight thickness to it. So when I apply it, I make sure that I rub it in my hands like this, and then I'm just going to apply it to this side, and I just focus it primarily towards the mid lumps and ends because I don't want to bring that oil too high, otherwise I find it does start to make my hair feel a little bit more greasy, especially this one, because I find it is slightly thicker. If I do put too much on, you can definitely tell. So start with a very, very small amount. This here has that pump applicator. I'm going to talk about the OLAPLEX one in a minute because that is slightly different, but I do kind of wish that it had maybe a pipette or something where I could control the amount a bit more easily. I just find a pump is just too much, especially for someone with fine hair like me, where I just don't want necessarily that much. So I'm just going to apply it like this as I normally do, and obviously my hair I just recently took out of the bun, so it's a bit unruly and it's been in that bun pretty much all day, but it's definitely done a big difference there in terms of calming that frizz. I'm going to brush my hair in a minute, but I wanted to just apply the oil first. But yeah, it feels lovely. The only thing I would say about the Kerastaste one is that you can kind of feel it on your hair. It doesn't absorb as quickly, and so for me it's a nice consistency, but I wish it was slightly thinner, especially because I have that fine hair. Next up, I'm going to take the OLAPLEX number 7, and this here, the bottle of this looks so small, and I know that this is a very, very big reason as to why people don't really like to purchase it, because it is pricey and it's tiny, which is definitely not something that you want to have to buy. I'm just going to wipe my hands because I've still got that Kerastaste oil on it. With the OLAPLEX one, I prefer this dispenser because you can tip it upside down and see it's not coming out at all, and all you want to do is tap the top. So I typically do about 6 pumps and then I'll see how much more I want to do, but you really need a very, very tiny amount, so good that it doesn't like spill or anything. Again, still massage that within my hand just to warm it up, and then I just take it like this. And again, when I put these side by side, the Kerastaste one has definitely more of a fragrant smell. It smells almost like a high-end perfume, which obviously is lovely, but if you don't like fragrance then you might not like that, whereas the OLAPLEX one is pretty much fragrance free. It has, if you like really smell it, that kind of patented OLAPLEX smell. So if you have used their number 3 or their shampoo and conditioner, it all smells very similar, and that's what this basically smells like, but on a very, very mild scale. And again, I've only needed the tiny amount of that. I just feel like for me this has calmed the frizz on my hair a little better without weighing my hair down, because I feel like you can almost see a bit more product this side than this side. I think that's because the Kerastaste one is a bit more difficult to actually manage in terms of that pump applicator. But this here as well has completely just dissolved into my hair, and it's so lightweight. So for me, in terms of texture, the OLAPLEX one for me really does win hands down, even though it is price per milliliter a lot more expensive. Because you need very little of this, I just feel like it does a much better job for my fine hair, whereas if you have thicker or more coarse hair, the difference might not be as noticeable, but for me it definitely is. I should probably mention as well, this packaging is like a hard plastic, so it's definitely not as like bougie feeling as the Kerastaste one, which is definitely glass. This one is just like a hard plastic. So in terms of appearance, I think this one looks better. It looks much more bougie, and obviously you get so much with this. This one just doesn't look as great. I think if you like simplicity and you like the other Olaplex products, and that's definitely not something that's going to bother you, but side by side this one definitely looks better than this one does. However, by just taking my hair out and just demoing those oils very quickly for you, I hope that this showcases how both of them do a really good job of managing frizz. And I'm definitely someone that if I have styled my hair one day and then the next day, I typically find it maintains, if I straighten it, it maintains it very straight, but I'll often just get a bit of frizz, and so I can just run a little bit of oil through my hair, just do it as I did it on camera, and it really just does control it, and it means that my hair is pretty much good to go without any other touch-ups, which is so much better than reapplying heat, and it obviously adds that moisture boost. What I like about both of them as well is that moisture, and if you are someone that suffers from split ends and you're just at an absolute loss in terms of what else you can do for your hair in terms of preventing those breakage and make your hair really grow long, this is an essential step, because you are basically treating your ends exactly for what it needs. That hydration that it's really lacking is probably a reason why your hair is breaking, especially in this kind of weather at the moment where it's just generally freezing outside. You want something like this to just add that hydration back in your hair, and both of these will do a very good job of doing that. So I think for me personally, and I think I've made it pretty evident that I do prefer the Olaplex side. For me, that's just, I can't feel it in my hair at all, and it just feels so good. And I remember when I first used the Olaplex one, as I've been testing them over the last few months, I put that on my hair and I genuinely thought, this is life-changing. The Kerastaste one, not quite to the same degree. It is still really a nice experience using it, but in my honest opinion, I think that your money is best spent on the Olaplex one. You need very little amount of it, and I have used both of these for probably about 2 months each, I think. So from the end of November I've been using them, and the Olaplex one really does look like I haven't touched it, whereas the Kerastaste one, again, not that much, but it is showing a little bit more wear, and I think that's because it's much harder to prevent using too much. For me, this Olaplex one is just such a simple design. The dispense action of it is just so simple. It means you don't over put oil on, and it's finding that fine line between adding oil to your hair to make it look hydrated and silky and add that heat protection without making it look greasy. And I feel like as long as you're not overdoing it, put too little amount in, then put it through your hair and then judge if you need more. If you put way too much in, say for example the Kerastaste one, you pump 2 or 3 pumps full in your hand and put that in your hair, it's gonna look very greasy. Whereas I've not experienced that with the Olaplex one. I think just because it melts in your hair, it does a really good job. And I also recommend, if you like the Olaplex one or you like their products in general, you can put this with the number 6. And so I'm going to do a video all about that really soon, and so I'm going to show you how you can use the two really well together. But ultimately you squeeze a very little amount of the number 6 leave-in conditioner with the oil, mix it in, and for me that is just like a match made in heaven. I absolutely love it. And so for me, once these are both kind of done, I'm definitely going to purchase the Olaplex one before the Kerastaste one, which does pain me to say because this is a 30ml bottle and this is 100, and I think I really wanted to prefer the Kerastaste one because even though they're both pricey, it just feels like this one will last so much longer. But in all honesty, I would recommend the Olaplex one. I think that this just does such amazing things for your hair. If you have fine, brittle or damaged hair, this could definitely be your best friend. And I also agree the fact that you can use this on wet and dry hair, which is something that I've been doing. So before my hair air dries, I've been putting that number 6 and number 7 treatment in, and then once my hair is dried and I either want to style it or put it up or anything like that, I just run a little bit more through my hair. And how soft it makes my hair is indescribable. I think because the Kerastaste one, it does also feel soft, but you can almost feel the product in your hair, and it's not quite the same. And so with that, I would just say the Olaplex one, because it's lightweight, it just melts in the hair, it's just such a nice texture. For me, this is just my favourite, and I would just recommend it so much. I also think as well, because Olaplex has that bond repair and maintenance technology, this I think is going to do more for your hair just because it has that bond builder treatment. So if you've got the number 3, 4, 5 or 6, it's something that you're very aware of. The Olaplex really does help protect the bonds and works from the inside out on your hair. I don't think the Kerastaste one does quite the same thing, and so for that painted ingredient, again, I would recommend this. So all in all, I would say the OLAPLEX one is definitely my favourite. It's just one I'm probably going to repurchase now forever. It's going to always stay in my hair care collection because this makes such a big difference, and it is pricey. Try and get it on some kind of discount, but even if you have to pay full price for it and very begrudgingly, I would say this is going to last you a lifetime. I've known people that have been using this for literally like a year and a half and only got to like halfway, and using it very, very frequently as well. So this isn't like one of their number 3 products where you'll only get 1 or 2 treatments. This is going to last you so long, and probably is one of my favourite products in the OLAPLEX lineup. I'm going to do a video doing the whole range and doing my whole hair using every product in the steps, so you can see how the transformation with OLAPLEX goes. But unfortunately, I have to say, go for this one if you are doing your research at the moment. This is a really nice one, and if you have got this or you want to use it up, or you can get this at a very, very discounted rate, then you're probably going to really enjoy it. But I would just say, if you are hunting the internet for which one is best, I would say go for OLAPLEX. You won't be disappointed. So I hope that this video has been helpful for anyone looking to try out a new hair care oil. I am so pleased that I've discovered this and I love it so, so much. Definitely going to use this still. I do really enjoy it, but for me, I do prefer this. So I'm probably not going to repurchase this one because of the price. I would rather just buy another one of these. I hope that this has been helpful in terms of helping you decide which oil to get. Let me know down below if you've tried either or which one you prefer, because it might be that you have a different hair type to me and you might find differences that I haven't noticed. So I'd love to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!